All right, y'all. On the real, this has been a pretty emotional WrestleMania for me. So if my face looks jacked up, it's for that reason. Yeah, I have cried over a few moments. I'm not gonna deny that. But I'm gonna make this short, sweet, and to the point because unfortunately it takes forever and a day for me to upload anything. So I'm gonna try and make it as short as possible. I'm gonna say this. There were some highs and some lows. One of the lows definitely was the ramp. The 80-yard ramp that they had coming from the stage, the entrance stage, all the way down to the ring was way too long. It took half past forever for everybody to get there. There were a few wrestlers that were creative in their entrances, but the length of it really made it limited on what they could do for their entrance, and that's kind of jacked up. I will say that it was smart of the Undertaker to actually elevate above, like have an elevator to actually take him like towards the middle of the ring, so he has a halfway point. I think that was smart. But other than that, it was a huge handicap, and I'm hoping they won't do that next year. They shouldn't, because they're probably going back to the same spot they did before in the Silverdome at in Louisiana. But other than that, another dud pretty much was the women's match, the SmackDown women's match. Before it was like it was so open and so like we had no idea exactly what match it was going to be that it made everybody curious of what was going to happen. But it ended up being going from a 12-pack challenge on 12-pack challenge that was listed on SmackDown to being a 6-pack at WrestleMania night. So we end up having the same regular girls fighting against Alexa Bliss. Nobody special that came out, and that was the one big disappointment of the entire thing, because I was kind of expecting to have somebody different to come out and to actually challenge Alexa Bliss for the title. They wouldn't win; it just be somebody different that we haven't seen. So there is that. But other than that, there were some really good moments. And I'll go into my favorite match, of course, is the ladder match. The fact that we ended up seeing the Hardy Boys after 7 years, we knew they weren't going to breed the broken gimmick. But I thought it was smart of the Hardys that we didn't know they were saying delete, 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 and acting like the broken Hardys. They were acting like the broken Hardys in the ring, but they allowed the crowd to say delete, 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 because they can say that. They couldn't. And when they were about to go delete, 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 they actually cut it and went on to like the replay. I thought it was smart of WWE to do that to try to avoid lawsuits and stuff. But then I thought it was clever of the Hardys to allow the audience to react for them. So I thought that was smart. But that was an amazing match. I'm not gonna lie. Absolutely balls to the walls craziness. That's what that match was. And I enjoyed every bit of it. But Shane versus AJ actually started off, and I had no idea it was going to do that, but it wasn't that bad. And Shane actually did take that match seriously. I was really impressed with him on how he was using a lot of submission holds. Because before, yeah, he'll be doing amazing spots, flying all over the place, doing the coast to coast, stuff like that. But he really did take that match seriously, and it showed. And that was my second favorite. But there were more moments than great matches in this pay-per-view. For me, definitely was the fact that we end up seeing the Hardy Boys. I was emotional with that. We end up seeing Nikki being proposed to and John Cena taking it seriously because that dude was shaking, and it sounded like he was trying not to cry. You usually don't see men do that unless they actually do take it seriously. My bad. I keep getting all of these messages and it's causing this noise. Regardless of that, I'm moving on. But other than that, it was nice to see Nikki finally getting the ring. It was nice for her to actually to hug her possibly new in-laws. And I thought it was great. I really did. And I thought it was a pretty touching moment. And every girl in that arena screamed. I thought it was great. I really did. Really touching moment. But for me, the moment that really hit the hardest definitely was Taker's retirement. It didn't sink in until after the match was over. I was bawling my eyes out. As soon as he took his hat off, oh my gosh, I was in tears. I could not stop crying. I really couldn't. And it's just because I knew it was coming, but I guess when it sinks in and this is the most beloved character, you're gonna cry. You're gonna have some kind of emotion. I know I did. I really did. And it hit me hard. Like I couldn't stop crying. I was a freaking faucet. I didn't think I was gonna do a review because I didn't think I absolutely had the emotional chops to do it. Because right now I'm still an emotional mess, but at least I'm able to talk without. But other than that, I thought it was an amazing way to go out, and Taker did it. I mean, he's now Mark Calloway, no longer Undertaker. He's a normal civvy. So it's what it is, man. He's gonna probably be in the Hall of Fame next year. It was a good way for him to go out. We all know now that Roman Reigns is going to be the most hated man in the WWE universe. But strangely enough, the crowd was pretty tame. But I wouldn't know because I saw it on the network. It may be miles different for those that were there live. But other than that, we know that this guy's going to be really hated. There's no way he could be a babyface after this. Like, no way. But from there on, the one thing that kind of confused me a little bit more definitely was the fact that Bray Wyatt did not win. That Randy Orton actually did take the title away, which made Bray Wyatt look stupid. It just did. I'm sorry. Randy Orton went back to being Randy Orton, but Randy Orton didn't need the win. And all that stuff that Bray Wyatt did, he had his house burnt down. He looks weak now. Really weak. He really weakened the character, and I hope they don't make him a babyface because his character's too freaky to do that. But it just doesn't look good for him. I don't know where he's gonna go from here, but it was just sad. But other than that, the women's match definitely was somewhat impressive, but I thought it was a cop out and how they got rid of Sasha the way they did, and for some reason they didn't put the belt buckle back. But I didn't think Nia should have been involved at all. But it was emotional to see Bayley win because when she cried, I did. That's just me. I just bawled my eyes out. It was a really emotional WrestleMania. But other than that, guys, my overall thoughts for this WrestleMania is this. It was decent. With everything that went down, with all the changes, with all the controversy and stuff that's happened outside of WWE, they were literally able to pull it together. And even though the rant was a huge inconvenience, they were able to make this WrestleMania decent. So I don't have any beef with it at all, except some of the small things that I talked about previously, but it was a decent WrestleMania. So now, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel, and I will see you later. Peace out.